Hi guys, this is Kevin here with Imagination Hobbies. I just wanted to do another update, quick video expanding the modularity of Dwarvenforge. All that you see here, with the exception of these tables over here in this chair, is Dwarvenforge right here. These are the bar sets. I bought 2 of the bar sets. It came with several of these, probably 4 of these. Came with all this in the background. And it comes with all these little pieces that you can set up on the bar, like so. Just move them around as you please. The only issue with some of this stuff is when it gets really tiny, and some of it does. It's hard to like put on there, and then if you move it, it wiggles or falls over, and then it falls down and rolls around, and that's like a big annoyance when you're trying to set something up and it just keeps falling down. So to kind of mitigate that, and any you Dwarvenforge fans out there, like, I hope you're watching, if you have a little bit of crafting skill or something like that, you can actually mitigate any of this stuff from falling down through magnets and sheet metal. So I took these tiny magnets here. This is a stack of them. And I just took just one of these, and I drilled a hole and put them in the bottom of each of these Dwarvenforge pieces. And then what I did was, these bars are hollow on the inside. So what I did is I took some sheet steel, like tin, I guess you'd call it, but it needs to be magnetic. Not magnetic, but I don't know what's the term for it. Starts with an F, but needs to be able to be stuck to by a magnet. And I ordered this online. This is just like here's a SKU code if that helps. But this is just a sheet of metal. It says it's for projects, finishings, some boats, cars, all kinds of different stuff. So I just bought, if you don't want to mess up your scissors, you can use just house scissors. But you can buy, a pair of scissors at the dollar store. It doesn't really damage them too much. I was able to do this whole thing without really messing up my scissors. And it's really hard to see, but I put the sheet steel in there on the underside. So now it's done all throughout the bar, even on this guy on the inside. Now everything sticks, and it's not gonna fall off. So you can actually like pick stuff up and move it around, but it's not permanent, and you can move it wherever you want. So you can reposition it. You don't have to worry about things falling off, and you get a whole lot more use out of your Dwarvenforge. And then you can go ahead and swap items. So like, this is an alchemist thing from Dwarvenforge. You just put that up there, a little book or something like that, and now it's not going to like fall over when you bump the table or something like that. Then I took it a step further, and I was like, seated miniatures are very limited. I don't want to glue them to chairs. They're expensive. I want to have variety and modularity with them. So what I did was, I took their benches and I went ahead and magnetized the underside of the benches as well. So you can see here that, these benches are just fully magnetized now. And I could set people down at the bar, not have to worry about knocking things over. Normally you couldn't do that. If you try to just balance a miniature on this thing, and the slightest bump would knock it over. I was doing it before I magnetized it. So the fact that you can actually, this guy doesn't This guy has a really weird stance, but basically the fact that you can, you know, just put them on there and they're good to go. You can quickly interchange them. Then let's say they don't want to sit there and they want to sit on some other terrain. Well, magnetize that too. So all this is magnetized. Now, let's say you want to use your Dwarvenforge on a different table. Well, as you saw in the last video, you can do that. Just click them right on. Let's say you want to use something besides Dwarvenforge. You use these metal pieces. And you just click them right on. Set up different positions. I do recommend magnets on the underside of the actual tables with the tiny bits if you can pull it off. It's just a stronger bond. Also, what's kind of cool is let's say you have these dynamic posed miniatures, right? Well, now she's sitting on the table. Like, how cool is that? You don't have to just have them sit on a bench. I mean, they could. She could just sit on this bench too, which is pretty neat. Or if you want her to sit on the bar, now she could sit on the edge of the bar. So I just thought this was, like, I don't know, really useful. Gives you actual use out of your minis and what you're doing. I'll show you a little bit more detail of like how I had to do it. So miniatures, you don't want to put the magnets for the chairs or seats right in the middle. You actually want to offset it. You want to put it towards the back of the bench or whatever you're using. Like if it's this throne, you want to put it towards the back. So that way when you put the guy on there, their butt lines up right with the magnets. And then so when I magnetize these, I magnetize them towards the back always, because doing it in the middle just doesn't work out like you want it to. You actually need a better center of gravity, and this helps to balance it out, if that makes any sense at all. Helps them from tipping forward. So that guy's, you know, magnetic, or if he wants to hop on the bar for some reason, he can just hop on the bar. So I know people are like, what the fuck, like dollies, like what are you doing with these dolls? But honestly, it's just something it's not something you play around with. It's something that you set up to like make the scene that you're trying to achieve for D&D. And just the ability to swap stuff out and make it modular helps out a lot and actually saves you quite a bit of money. And I've done that with a ton of minis here. So this one's not magnetized, but I can use my non-Dwarvenforge stuff on the Dwarvenforge table, especially once it's painted. So that I need more magnets. I'm running out of magnets. So I still have to magnetize all this stuff back here for the most part. And then a bunch of these benches and these two people right here. I'm going to get some flat magnets to magnetize the bottom of these dishes so they can just go on the tables or wherever they're eating at. But yeah, I don't know. So this is just a tip for specifically, I mean, anything you want, but it's a good tip for Dwarvenforge. I know a lot of people collect Dwarvenforge, and these bars are perfect for it because the fact that they're hollow and they have a thin top layer that you can actually glue sheet metal in and pull that off. And also this is pretty easy to drill into. It's more of a rubberized plastic rather than metal, and so these are really easy to do. I'm gonna just tell you, these magnets are 4mm by 2mm, or you can do 4 by 3mm. I wouldn't get any bigger than that. I just wouldn't get any bigger than that. I would try to go, you know, smaller for the tables and little accessories. But this is a good size for the miniatures. It's strong enough to keep them up. Even on these tables, I mean, they could fall off the tables, but actually it's pretty good. It just depends on how flat you got it to sit on the butt of the miniature. I also put them far back on the miniature, because if you do want to set it on a bench or a table and your magnets are centered on that bench, you know, their butt needs to be able to reach that. The magnet needs to be able to align correctly. Or if they want to sit on the edge of the table, you know, the magnets aren't sitting right on the tip of the table. They're more inward. So you want it to align to where the magnet is on the inside. Anyways, I guess you guys get all this. I just kind of overstate some stuff sometimes, just because not everybody is maybe done this before or is used to these products. So I just try to, you know, explain it. You can get these on eBay. You can get the sheet metal things on eBay. That's where I got them. And so those are pretty cool. And I'm using some of these other things. I am gluing this down because it's just dishes, dirty dishes. Like, they'll always be in there. And then this is always going to be on here. It's like a cut loaf of bread. So some of the stuff I don't mind gluing down. But, you know, the things I want to interchange for the tables and bar and benches and everything, I prefer to magnetize. I get more use out of it. And also, once you paint these miniatures, you spend the time to paint them all. You don't want them falling over all the time and getting chipped. So it's really a big preventative thing. It really saves you a ton of headache, not just with setting things up. Like, that would be very hard to do. It'd be pretty much impossible to do with one hand behind a screen like this. So it's really cool that you can just move these around. The magnet just stuck to that guy. But yeah, I don't know. I just find it pretty awesome how quick that, you know, that is. And then, you know, like, that happens too. When you go to set this up, you bump the bar, and if you had a bunch of things set up on here, it'd all fall over. Like that, you know, that would just knock whatever's on the bar over. So at least this gives it some more stability. So if you accidentally bump it a bit, you're not just losing everything. So, all right, anyways, this is Kevin with Imagination Hobbies signing off here. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Just make sure all your magnets are aligned if you're going to do this. And have a great rest of your day. Bye.